As we come into late November and into December, we got the holidays to deal with. And, it's tough to sell during the holidays. A lot of people are traveling. People are spending money on Christmas and Thanksgiving. If they're not traveling, they probably have guests in their home at some point, which means they don't really want contractors in their home doing work. So, the next 6 or 8 weeks, it's going to be a tough for us. But here's the thing I want you to understand. All that means is that we have to work harder. It always kills me when people are like, well, it's a tough time of year to sell. Yeah, it is. No shit, right? But like I used to always tell my son when he was growing up, that we don't have the luxury of just doing the easy stuff. We have to do the easy stuff and the hard stuff. And the hard stuff is selling the next 7 or 8 weeks until the new year. Between the mild temperatures in many parts of the country, between the holidays and people traveling, people having company, people spending money on Christmas and Thanksgiving. Yeah, it's not exactly 110 degrees in Phoenix in July, where people are just writing checks to get stuff installed as quick as they can. We can expect it to be tough. We don't expect it to be easy. We don't expect it to be laydowns. This is not a time of year where you can drop off bids for service repairs or a new system and expect to get callbacks. People are extremely distracted, which means we have to work harder. Now, what does that mean exactly, working harder? Well, number one, it means taking more time, which we should have the time because it's not the busy season. Take more time, as I always say, the amount of energy and effort you put in and the time you put in, that builds the relationship, that builds the trust, that makes it more likely, no guarantees, but more likely that the homeowner will accept your recommendations at the end. And notice I said your recommendations at the end. That means at the end, you've done a thorough evaluation of the home. Mr. and Mrs. Homeowner, here's what I'm going to recommend, and here's why. Right? And you explain to them why you're recommending that humidifier or dehumidifier. You explain to them why you're recommending that IAQ product, or if it's a new system, whatever you're recommending. It's really important that you tell the homeowner, here's what I'm going to recommend, and here's why. The and here's why part shows active listening, shows that you're paying attention as you go through your evaluation of the home, whether it's through your comfort survey or physical evaluation of the home as you walk around it with the homeowner. Critically important, you take the time, build a relationship, build the trust, and then make the recommendations. Tell them why you're making those recommendations to show that you've been paying attention. And then, of course, hopefully they will accept our recommendation. No guarantees, but this is a game of probabilities. You got to figure for every 10 recommendations that you make, you're probably going to have your homeowner accept 2 or 3 or maybe 4 of them. It's not going to be 100% acceptance. It never is. But we have to increase our probability by making those recommendations on a consistent basis. So I think it's really important to understand that it is going to be more difficult this time of year, and just accept that fact that we're going to have to step it up. I remember back in 2008, 2009, we had the Great Recession, and if you were in the industry at that time, you know what pain feels like, because it was a very difficult time, a very difficult situation. The housing market collapsed, everything collapsed with it, and so many of our homeowners, they make their purchasing decisions with respect to their home based on the amount of equity, the way they feel about their financial situation. And when real estate prices are high, people feel like, hey, I'm rich. I've got $500,000 equity in my house or whatever, so I can spend some money. When real estate values crash like they did in 08 and 09, people feel like I'm broke. I better hang on to my money. I'm not going to spend a lot of money. And the timing couldn't have been worse for me personally, because I had just purchased several of my competitors and borrowed a couple of $1 million in that process. And so we borrowed that money in 07. We took on all this debt in 08, 09, it crashes. And I remember getting with my crew, we had this conversation every week. All this means is that we have to work harder. The economy crashing, the real estate market crashing doesn't mean we can't be successful. It just means we have to work harder. We have to take more time. We have to be more thorough. We have to be more influential with our homeowners. So, the holidays are kind of like a mini recession, right, for us in our industry. You've got mild temperatures and you've got a lot of distractions, a lot of money going elsewhere. And so I just wanted to remind everybody that don't get overwhelmed or frustrated that it's more difficult. Just accept the fact that, hey, it's more difficult and I'm going to have to work twice as hard to hold on to what I got. Because I don't know about you, but I've never had a bill collector call me and say, hey, we're going to suspend your mortgage during Thanksgiving and Christmas. You don't have to pay your bills during November and December. Everybody's got bills to pay, and everybody's bill collectors expects to see payment. So they're not going to give us a break in November, December. We got to keep working. Obviously, and making a living throughout the holiday season. So I just want to stress that we just have to slow down the process and work a little bit harder, right? When it's mild in Colorado today, I think it's going to be in the 60s. And so it's not heating season yet. Obviously, it's out of air conditioning season. And many of you by now, in this time of year, November, are probably full on in your shoulder season. It can be really, really helpful to have a special promotion this time of year. It's a high efficiency system. It's a free water heater, some other perks and benefits. It's a system that would normally be $21,000 during the peak season. They have it discounted by thousands of dollars and offer 15-year financing with it. And all you do is offer that, this off-season holiday special, just like every other company in the world, whether you're Target or whether you're the airlines or whether you're a restaurant, everybody's offering holiday specials. Offer a holiday special. Put together a nice high-efficiency system with long-term financing with the free perks, and this one included, as I mentioned, a free water heater. Put that on a one sheet and give your technician something to say, hey, Mr. Homeowner, you're probably not in the market right now for a new system, but I got to tell you about this promotion we're having. This would cost $21,000 in the peak season. And right now, because of the off season, our number one priority is keeping our installers busy. We're offering this promotion. There's nothing wrong with that. It's called dynamic pricing, and every company in the world does it. I bought airline tickets for my daughter this morning, or last night rather, to come home for Thanksgiving and Christmas from college. And guess what? They were really, really expensive compared to what they would be in, say, August or September, right? They have their peak pricing, which we would consider our retail pricing, and then they offer incentives and discounts during the off season. They're not going to offer those during Thanksgiving and Christmas, right? So that's just the way it is in real life. In our peak season, we're going to be able to sell at a higher price, our retail price. But when we have challenges like the weather or perhaps the holidays, then we have a promotion to offer. So for you owners and managers out there, put together some kind of promotion. Go down to your local FedEx Kinko's. They'll print it up for you. Put a couple of pictures of some systems and a free water heater, and get with your finance company, get with your suppliers, and say, hey, can you give us some kind of special on 20 systems to sell over the holidays? Maybe some discounts on financing or some incentives or rebates. Anything you can do to put together a package you can take to your homeowners during this part of the season. So that promotion is really important. Now, I will tell you this. Having the promotion doesn't necessarily mean you're going to sell it. You have to present it on every single call, even on maintenance calls. And, the reality is that even if you go out and run 50 maintenance calls, there's probably at least 10 of those systems that are old. I know maintenance calls, they tend to be newer systems, and that's fine. But there's going to be at least 20% or so that are older systems, probably more like 30 or 40, but let's just say 20. Right, on 50 calls, that's 10 older systems. Out of those 10, maybe 4 or 3 or 4 say, sure, I'll take a look at it. And out of those 4, a couple say, yes, I'll go ahead and get a new system now rather than waiting the 2 years we're going to wait because you have this amazing promotion. And what that does is that keeps us alive through the shoulder season. It keeps installers busy, making install commission. It keeps the service techs and salespeople busy because they got commissions. And the company makes some gross profit dollars to help cover overhead. And the reality is in this business, that's all we're trying to do this time of year is cover overhead. For a long time, I always thought success in this business was about making money in the summer. The reality is this business is about not losing money in the off season. And so all we're trying to do is to cover overhead this time of year until we get back around to, your busy season whenever that starts.